Man, I just watched a motorcycle cop almost die, but be fine. But this motorcycle cop is hauling ass along with everybody else on the freeway. I'm going 75. I almost feel like I need to go over one more lane to the right because the fast lane, I'm going way too slow for the fast lane, way too slow for the carpool lane. So the motorcycle cop is going faster than that. He's got to be going 90. And he goes to get in front of this truck in the carpool lane. And I watch him go up, like beside the truck who's going fast. And he like looks back like, okay, I'm coming over. Be ready for me to come over. I'm coming over into your lane now, even though I'm just inches in front of you. And I don't think the truck saw him. And he came over and fucking that truck damn near fucking hit his ass. And then stepped on the brakes real quick. But it could have been that the truck was just being like, fuck you, I don't care if you're a cop, you're not getting in front of me. Because the truck then proceeded to like tailgate the cop, on the motorcycle cop, who didn't notice, like didn't look in his rearview mirrors or didn't care or something. I don't know. The motorcycle cop was a very dark dude, very dark black dude. Not that it matters, but might have been a factor in the truck's behavior or something. I don't know. So I have no idea. It's just a speculation. Probably not even a speculation I should make. Regardless, wow. I'm glad I don't ride a motorcycle anymore. I used to ride. I've had two different motorcycles. I had a Honda CB7 750, which was a great little bike. I mean, it was a 750, but it had that sort of scaled down. This is 1981. 1981 Honda CB750. Fantastic bike. It was scaled down like you could imagine it being smaller than a 750. It could have easily been a 500 or something, 400. It was zippy and fucking just like so agile. It was such an agile bike for not being a crotch rocket or anything, And I love that bike. My second wife, we sold it at some point when we needed money. She was like, well, what are you going to do, Eric? You got to sell the motorcycle. And I was just like, fine. That's what happened when you got me in the winning argument or something. I think I probably had said at some point, well, if it really gets bad, I'll sell the motorcycle. She's like, you said. And then later on, I got a Yamaha V-Twin or whatever it's called. That was an 900 or 1100, I don't remember. It was much more of a touring bike, and it was super comfortable. We had floorboards instead of pegs, but it wasn't nearly as agile. God damn it, where did I left both my coffee and my water at home? Are you serious? What else do I want to talk about in this video? Anyway, I almost crashed on both those bikes, but I never did. I dropped the Honda a couple of times. Like, just being an idiot. I think I might have dropped the Yamaha once. That's a fucking heavy bike, I tell you. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, what else I wanted to talk about? So I was reading this blog by this really interesting woman I found today. Her name's like Tron something or Tran something, or I don't know. But she's not, I don't think she's Asian. I make it sound like it's Asian, but it's not. As far as I can tell. Maybe it's like Thong or I don't know. Anyway, she was writing about Deidre, or however you say that guy's name. Diedre, or something like that. He's a philosopher, dude. And basically, he's trying to use TI to deconstruct TI, to make TI meaningless, to make TI the enemy. It's kind of an FI approach to it. Of course, without cognitive functions, one typically doesn't think of the guy as being the source of the idea and the reason for the implicit frame of the idea is the guy's own cognitive function bias. It's the most illocutionary of the frames. So it's funny how, because those of us who prioritize TI don't like to attach ideas to the people who state them, but instead deal with the statements in and of themselves as independent objects, we poo-poo the illocutionary frame. But really, the most fully realized understanding of any idea includes both your own illocutionary frame and the illocutionary frame of the idea's author, as well as the ideas themselves, if you want to have a full critique. So it's like, understanding that Deirdre guy, it's just a matter of recognizing that he's an INFP who's using TI well in the 8th slot and appropriately in the right menu in order to advocate in favor of a mushy particularism that somehow both affirms the individual whilst negating principalism. It's a strange contradictory mishmash of nonsense. You know, he's opposed to synthesis and thesis and antithesis and synthesis. He's opposed to the Hegelian notion of there being two poles to a thing. It says instead there's a cloud of possibilities. Well, it's denying the linearity of the map. It's such a silly idea, right? It's like, no, you're using the wrong map symbiology. So what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's all relatively absolute, not absolutely relative. For goodness sakes. Anyway, so, of course, to understand it in full, I need to understand him, but I also need to understand me. That right now, I'm displaying TIFE-NE all the way. I'm doing identity construction, position myself as being like the smarter one, the one who knows better than this famous philosopher, and that I'm critiquing it using TI as my tool function, which is the most natural way for me to read something anyways. The NE comes into play both in terms of where to go right now. Like, I didn't plan this talking out at all, so I just have to know what seems like an interesting offshoot, I guess, and then follow it further. So I guess you could say my look ahead is pretty small, right? I look ahead a little distance to see if it's interesting enough to make the decision to go down that path, but I don't look down very, very far, so I don't go as far as to plan it. And equivalently, once on the path, I may take an offshoot from the path, go tangential to the path, or even leave it entirely, because of my tendency to note interesting things and react. What the hell? What's going on here? damn it. Hey, fucktard, this is left turn only, you retard. See, I was trying to make a bullshit move where if I'm going for the straight lane, I'm going to make a left turn anyway because I can go in front of this truck as he turns left and go into the other lane, which there's not a dedicated left turn lane to. Instead, that fucker goes straight. What the hell, right? What time is it? 12:15? I got time. I was supposed to be at my dad's at noon, but I called him and told him I'd be there at 12:30. So, what in the world? Did that big tree branch just fall into the street like that? Well, this will be exciting footage for you, viewing audience. An exciting tree in the road. I see there are workmen. Can you see? Hopefully. That's a big tree. They knocked it over. Timber, they said. And down it came. Wow, look. They just chopped the top of it off. Pretty exciting, huh? Some exciting stuff. Move that tree. All right. I got a big yellow car with a scooper on the front and a shovel in a pole hole in the back. I can go, says the guy, if I go real slow. Look at that, we're cutting down that tree. Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff. Okay. That was exciting. Alright, so anyway, they were cutting down that tree, and as you can see, I don't necessarily stay on the path, but I sometimes have flashbacks. Go, oh yeah, I was talking about something. The typical question arises, what was I talking about? A response to which normally follows, oh yeah, that's right, and then I was, whatever it is I was talking about. Anyhow, now I'm going into Happy's Liquor to get a beverage because I forgot to bring my beverages with me. And I had to go the wrong way up this road, so I ended up here in Sierra Madre, which is not where I'm going, but whatever. So I'll take you with me. Let's have some more adventure, more adventure. Everybody loves the adventure, it's fun. Have adventures with Eric now. It'll be a lot of fun. Eric, you can't rhyme fun with fun. Well, I did. I should be critiqued horribly by everybody for that. But I did it anyway. I'm a rebel. I rebel. Okay, so look, a payphone. You don't see these very often. Used to be, you see these everywhere. Like newspaper things in the front. Used to have those machines you put coins into to get newspapers out. I don't have them anymore. Let's see what sort of beverage I want. I don't want alcohol. I know that. Here's some non-alcohol. Hi. I'm just looking for a drink of some kind. I don't know what yet. I don't want those drinks. Ah, here we go. This is what I want. Arizona iced tea. I want green tea lemonade. Or, this is pretty good. No, I'll get green tea lemonade. That sounds good. Green tea lemonade. Rock that joint. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How much is it? 1 and... God damn it. Find another nickel. Oh, I don't have it. Here's a quarter.
Good day.
Thank you. Oh, where am I? There I am. Where are you? You're tucked under my arm, looking into my shirt right now. How's the view? It's wonderful, Eric. Absolutely wonderful. Your shirt is made of the yellowest yellows and the grayest grays. Yeah, it is. It's time to rock those jammies. Here on 98.7, The Nard. 98.7, The Nard, Oxnard's only classic rock and home to Carl's Insightful Solutions. Yes, that's right, Carl's Insightful Solutions. The most insight-providing, solvency-oriented radio program on the radio anywhere. Let's tune in now to Carl's Insightful Solutions. Hello, Carl. Yes, we got a caller on the line, Julie. Hi, Julie. It's Carl. Well, what can I do you for? Carl. Yeah, Julie. Go ahead. What's your problem, Julie? Yeah, go ahead, Julie. You have what, Julie? What the fuck is wrong with you, lady? Stupid lady, go. God. Julie, you still there? Yeah, I have, trouble. What, Julie? You have trouble what? Getting... You have trouble getting... You have trouble getting your what? Your, driver's license? My, words... You have trouble getting your words... out. I see. Julie here, the problem. So she's called me Carl from Carl's Insightful Solutions. She has trouble getting her words out. Well, I just heard you demonstrate that problem there, Julie, and I've determined the reason is because you're speaking too slowly. And what you need to do, instead of pausing between each word, is simply say them all, mush together, try speaking a lot faster. Let's give it a shot, okay? Say, hi, I'm Julie, and I have trouble getting my words out. But this time, use the technique I just taught you. Hi, I'm Julie, I have trouble getting my words out. Oh my God, you solved my problem! That's right, no problem there, Julie. You're welcome. Thank you so much, Carl. Like I said, you're welcome. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more solvency here on Carl's Insightful Solutions on 98.7 The Nord, Oxnard's only classic rock. Well, that was Carl's Insightful Solutions. I don't know if you ever watched that show before. It's pretty great. I mean, heard it on the radio. You can't really watch it. Although I hear they have a special subscribers edition that you can get on DVD. It's just audio only, but it's got pictures of things nearby, basically things near where the show is made. Pick up pictures of Oxnard that we took from Wikipedia. But regardless, you should buy it. It's $79.99, and it does have the Carl's commentary throughout, which is of great value. It includes commentary such as, there, you see what I did right there? I solved that bitch's problem. That's what I'm talking about. That's solvency, motherfuckers. So, yeah, $79.99. You can buy it. I want to take a moment in this video to commend Matthew for making so much progress on the road to spiritual enlightenment. He is this close to pubation. I found me 4 different cheeses today. I'm glad he did not snort the cheese. That's ill-advised. There would be no cheese snorting. There should be no cheese snorting. It should be reserved for white powders only. Snorting, that is. There should be no cheese injecting. It should be not reserved for anything. There should be no cheese smoking. That's reserved for green plants and sometimes white powders and brown plants. What else? There should be no cheese. Tepanating? Is that what that's called? Tepanation? Or taffenation? What's it called? Where they put a hole in your skull to let the air in? Or let the pressure out or something? I don't know, some crazy quacky thing that some people do. Tepanation? If somebody remembers what that's called, put it in the comments, please. Okay, so, I guess that's about it for this video. I was talking about something actually interesting before I got off on a tangent. I was talking about having a path and going off on tangents and such. Oh yeah, I was talking about something about cardinal functions, and then right. The frames for the illocutionary, the double illocutionary, the bread in the bread of an objective sandwich. So the meaning of the words, or what you would call adjective sandwich, is either ob or subjective. So, like, once you're on the locutionary plane, well, that's what it is. It's a locution sandwich. The bread in the locution sandwich. The illocutionary being the non-spoken, the nature of the individual behind the speech act that explains why it occurs at all. Which is neither pathos, nor ethos, nor logos, but rather a realistic metaframe that acknowledges that even the most objective person is an interested party himself, and we can't really understand any locutionary act except ultimately through the frames of illocution. Now, you can't really say that something has a illocutionary frame unless it is a locutionary act. However, I use it more broadly than that, just to clarify. I mean, things linked back to the observer. I use it as basically synonymous with observational. Of course, locution means to speak. So an illocutionary frame is the unspoken aspects about which are spoken, is one kind of literal way to think about it. Wow, I'm surprised he hasn't been arrested yet. There's a very dark-skinned man walking down the street with no shirt on, with a skateboard, here in ultra hoity-toity suburban Arcadia, where I grew up. Now called the Chinese Beverly Hills. Watch out. Jesus. I lived around here, and my grandma lives around here. I used to go up to her house to swim when I was little. That's a pretty nice house right there. See, that's it. It's a pretty nice one. There's some that are nicer. It's like they kind of carved up some of the lots around here a little bit. Or maybe they just didn't really have that big lots to begin with. I don't know. But there are certainly some nice houses. That's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice one. I mean, that's a regular old ranch style house. These are like regular basic houses. This one's pretty fancy. Yeah. I always liked this place when I was a kid because the way it has this tree held up by these poles. It's always been like that. They've got this big ass oak tree that's held up by those poles. really cool. I had a friend who lived on this street, and his name's Alarino. He's been in a video or two. He lived up at the top of the street, though, not down here. He's a couple blocks out. Hugo Reed, this street we're about to cross, is the street where my elementary school was on. Although there were two elementary schools. One of them was, they're both called Hugo Reed. Hugo Reed Primary and Hugo Reed Elementary. We called them the little school and the big school. The little school is not on Hugo Reed, actually, but the big school is. And I used to walk down these sidewalks, and that's how I'd get home from walking home from the big school. I come right down here, and then I make a left here on Kingsley, and I will walk down here past Joaquin, and I go past the Woolsey's house, which is this one right here, and make a right. And I passed that house, and 306 was at first an old lady, and then eventually some Chinese people moved in. This was the Porter's house. This was an old lady's house. This was my friend Kelly's house. This was the McPherson's house. That was the Flax house. I watched that house burn to the ground to get rebuilt. That was the Smelter's house next door. Next door to that was another old lady. Next door to that was, they changed owners a few times. Down there is Jeff Holmes' house, and then the Skiba's house down at the very end. So I knew this whole block, you know. I knew everybody on the block. We were all neighbors. We had kids who played together and stuff like that, you know. So I better park this on the street. Otherwise, I'm going to hear about it if I leave any mark on my father's precious driveway. Son, looks like you have an oil leak here. Looks like you got a drop of some kind of liquid out of the bottom of your car. I'm not liking the looks of that. Son, have you noted this? Have you noticed it? Are you paying any attention? Yes, Dad, I see it. Oil, yeah, okay, great, gotcha. That's stuff that goes in cars. Wonderful. I'm so excited about it. I mean, you're not supposed to be excited, son. You're supposed to be upset. Very upset. It's very upsetting when you have liquids dropping from your car. Oh, I'm upset. You can rest assured I'm terribly, terribly, terribly distraught over this matter. Oh. You should be. It's a terribly distressing matter. Is distraught the past participle of distressed? Or distress? I don't know. I don't think so, Dad. It's a weird question for you to ask. That's so out of character for you. Well, son, son. Dad, you have to constantly call me son. You call me Eric occasionally. Oh, that's right. I don't need to be quiet. Dad can't hear anything.